Well, how about it, y'all? This is Daniel Nicholson with Nicholson Farms, and welcome back to another video. It's a chilly, rainy Monday morning, but we've got several things to do this morning. I'm thankful for the rain. We've gotten about 2 inches between last night and this morning, but I set out 66 tomato plants yesterday, so it's great for that. But this morning, like I said, it's Monday. Our local sale barn's about 30 miles away. They sell on Mondays, so my boss was nice enough to let me go for a couple hours. We're going to get these girls that aborted loaded up on the trailer. We're going to take them down to the sale barn. I'm going to watch them sell. I don't know if I'll get any video of that. Honestly, I don't know how much video I'm going to get this morning loading them up just because it's raining. It's supposed to get out of here in about 30 minutes, but I've got to get back to work eventually. So we're going to go ahead and get them loaded up, get them down the road. I got some news from the vet of what was causing our abortion issue, what he thinks is the biggest possibility. So we're going to get these girls loaded up and take them to the sale, and then I'm going to share that information with y'all and kind of talk about, you know, my thoughts of it, how we're going to kind of handle it, and all that good stuff. So let's go hook the trailer up, get it backed up to the catch pen. I got to catch these girls and get them loaded up and get them down the road. And try not to get wet in the process. But I'm already wet, so I guess it won't hurt to get a little bit wetter. So these are the 5 girls that we're going to be putting on the trailer today to take to the sale. All 5 of these have aborted. It's just no baby, no stay. That's kind of going to be my general rule going forward. So we've got them caught up. We're going to take the sale, make a little bit of money off of them. They got to pay the bills. Cold nannies are part of your income when you're raising livestock, whether it's goats, cows, or anything. Cold animals are going to be a part of your income. You hope to never have to sell some, but you're always going to have to. So got them called up. I want to go ahead and do that before I got the trailer hooked up, stressing them out with the trailer pulling in. They're in here. We're going to go hook up the trailer and get these girls loaded up and hit the road. So we got all the girls loaded up. We're headed to the sale barn now. We're about 15 minutes away or so. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to film there. You're really not supposed to film at the stockyard. So I might just sneak my camera out a little bit, we'll see. But one reason I decided to take these girls to the sale versus trying to sell them over like Facebook Market or either Craigslist or something like that, private treaty, is honestly these girls didn't work out for me. They're not something I want on my farm, and I'm trying to build some kind of a reputation. I'm not going to sell somebody else an animal that I wouldn't keep on my own farm. I do the same thing with all my little doelings. When I have doelings to sell, last year I kept all the doelings that I liked and I sold the ones that didn't really look good. I took them to the sale barn. Because like I said, I'm trying to build somewhat of a reputation of having good goats, good quality. One day we'll get to where we're selling some quality females, but until then it's just probably going to be little bucklings or either steer goats. We haven't decided if we're going to steer yet, but like I said, that's why I probably could have made more off of these does if I would have sold them. I know I could have made more off of these does if I'd have sold them through Craigslist and all that stuff. But I want repeat customers. I want customers that the animal's going to go thrive at their farm. I don't want somebody calling me back in 6 months or saying, hey, this goat aborted, or hey, this goat died on me, 2 weeks after I sold it, or something like that. It's just not a good look for me, not a good look for Nicholson Farms, and that's the main reason. I'm hoping these goats do pretty good today. We'll have to see. The goat market's kind of going down right now here in South Carolina. I keep up with the stock reports every week, and in the past 2 weeks they've kind of dropped down. Our high was back in February. In early March, as soon as we hit April, it started going down a little bit. So I'm not expecting to sell these goats for an outrageous price. Just enough to cover what they cost me the past year, really. Most of these girls, all these girls gave me a baby last year, so they paid for themselves last year. And one of them's a little doeling that I kept back from last year, so she's got to pay for herself at the sale barn today. But other than that, I'm just hoping to, cover their costs, make a little extra, hopefully. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. But I'll fill you in on what they sell for. Like I said, I might see if I can sneak a clip in there. And also, I got another surprise for you. I didn't tell you earlier. I forgot. But Sheep had her babies 2 days ago. So later this afternoon, when we get done with the sale barn, I get off of work, I'm going to show you Sheep and her babies. Y'all are not familiar with Sheep. Sheep is kind of our pet goat. She's the one that's got a permanent spot on the farm. Everybody else has got to make a living, but she's the one that's never going to go anywhere, and everybody's excited to see her babies, or at least my parents and Maddie and my little cousin. So later this afternoon we'll show you Sheep, but we're about to drop these goats off at the sale, get them unloaded. The sale starts in about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna sit down and watch some goats sell. Maddie might kill me if I come home with anything. I don't buy anything from the sale barn other than pigs. We need some pigs, but I don't need them quite yet. If it's a good deal, I'll probably go ahead and bid on them. Maddie might kill me. I still got a honeymoon to pay for, so she might be a little upset if I come home with some pigs. But speaking about the sale barn, I have in the past bought goats from the sale barn. Some of them's worked out, some of them haven't. A lot more have not than have. And I'm not saying I'll never buy a goat from the sale barn again, but it's not typically something I do. I'm not going to look to buy goats today. We're just going to see if we can sell these, and hopefully I don't come home with any pigs.
Day. So for the men and women that work hard.
125, 30, 135, 40, 145, 50, 150, 55, 60, 160, 160, 160, 160, 155. It's a nanny. 175, 175, 175, 175, 175, 65, 165, 70, 165, 70, 170, 170, 165, 200. 180 now, 185, 185, 185, 185.
Okay, so it's a couple hours later. I just got off of work. I watched the goat sell, and then I shot out of there, got back to work. But the goat prices were about where I was thinking they're going to be, a little bit lower. I was hoping for a little bit more, but that's all right. We got rid of them. They sold anywhere from $180 to $125 a piece. I've got a check for the 5 of them for like right at $750, a little bit more than that. But it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. I wasn't about to call no sale on them or anything like that. I'm kind of glad they're off the farm. We're not going to have to feed them for the next year. We're not going to have to give them any medication or using up our grass or anything. So it's time for them to go. The goat market right now is kind of on a downward trend. Typically after the end of March, I saw it for sure in the goat reports. April 1st, the goats started going down. February and March is kind of our hot market, but it just so happened we have cold does now. We're, like I said, we're not going to keep them and feed them for a whole nother year. It's good to get them going and move on and focus on all these babies and all these good mamas we've got here right now. So with that being said, we're going to kind of talk about what the vet said about what was causing our abortion issues and kind of where we're going from here. So about a week ago, I got a call back from the vet. I hadn't made a video about it yet until now. I wanted to take those cull does and kind of tie it all into one video. But he called and he couldn't be 100% sure, but we're almost certain that we know what the cause of our abortion issues was. After the blood samples were back, they tested negative on everything but one thing, and both of those that I got blood drawn on both test positive for this, and that's Toxoplasmosis. I talked about that in our video wherever we're trying to figure out what this was. Toxoplasmosis is carried in cat feces. They can pick it, a goat can pick it up throughout the pasture. They can pick it up off of hay or feed if a cat uses the bathroom in the hay barn. I really don't know where it came in where they came in contact with it. Our neighbors have several cats, but I don't really see them in the pasture that much. So I don't think that was the issue. Up there at the lease, there's a little barn that I stack a couple days worth of hay in at a time to feed the goats while they're up there. I have seen a cat in that barn before, but I don't remember seeing any cat feces. I'm not saying that it couldn't come from there. It's really up in the air. Where we store our hay down in Bamberg, where we bale our hay, there's not a ton of cats there. Where I have it in an 18-wheeler, actually use an 18-wheeler that we've got at work. I store all my hay in Newberry here in that. The cats can't get into that. So the only place I think they could have picked it up in is probably the hay barn at the lease. But I can't be 100% sure. And the vet wasn't 100% sure that this is the cause. It's looking like it's the cause just because this is the only thing that we have a positive on. But it still doesn't rule out chlamydia. Chlamydia, we still had to test the fetus or either the placenta. We never got that done. But with that being said, the Toxoplasmosis, the goat herd actually will develop a resistance to it. So potentially all these goats that's had healthy babies have been exposed to it, but they were able to fight it off and have healthy babies, and it didn't cause them to abort. That's one reason that we want to go ahead and get rid of those does that did abort, just so in future generations of their offsprings could possibly abort because of it, and potentially the ones that we have in the herd now, their offspring wouldn't, because they have somewhat of resistance to it. That's just kind of my thought behind it. From what I've read, there's several different things that you can do to kind of combat this, and that is kind of what we did with the antibiotics, giving them a shot. That could potentially gave us the results that we have with all our healthy babies on the ground. We'd never know for sure, but we did it anyways, and it so happens we've got some healthy babies on the ground. I hate that we ended up having 6 does to do the abortion thing. It was kind of devastating on us. We were really expecting for them to have kids, hoping for them to have kids so we could produce a little bit more income off of the goat herd this year. This is going to set us back a little bit on our financial goals for the herd. Far as the herd, the money that I did make off of them will be going into replacement does. I've got a line on several replacement does that I do want to purchase. We've got 13 little doelings on the ground now, and most of those are probably going to be staying here. We bred 28 does this year, and out of the 28 we've got 21 that are bred. We still have 3 more to go to kid. Had 1 young doe that didn't breed, and then we had 6 abort. So not the best ratio. I am proud of Clyde. He has covered all the does. We've got 2 more days until we ought to be expecting babies out of either Clyde or Clifford or boar buck that we recently sold. So Clyde got to work. He got the job done for sure. Every baby on the ground, we've had 27 babies hit the ground now, and out of all of them, they're all Clydes right now. We're doing all right. The goat herd's growing. We did have that bad luck with losing one, and then we had to give one up for a bottle baby. So we got 25 babies in the pasture, 3 more does to kid. Hopefully they can kid healthy babies, and we can wrap up kidding season, get to growing these kids out to where they need to be for marketing them come next fall as either young billies or steer goats. Probably going to be holding on to all the doelings. I think our game plan is we're going to give every doeling a chance to become a mama. If she can't become a mama, hopefully in that first year, maybe she just won't be staying on the farm. So let's go up and check out sheep's babies. And I'm gonna take some ear tags. I've got to ear tag them still. They're about 3 days old. They're nice and healthy babies. We'll go up there and check them out, and then we'll wrap this video on up. So here's the 3 does that we're still waiting on. This one right here, this one, and this one. Hopefully they can put out some twins. If all 3 of those have twins, that'll put us at 30 babies here at the farm. Hopefully they're healthy. We're hoping to hit 40 this year, but I'll take 30 healthy babies any day of the week. We've got baby goats everywhere. They're getting all of them's about a week old. They're getting that age where they're getting around pretty good, climbing on everything, running around and getting into everything. Sheep and her 2 babies. The one on the right, I believe, is the boy. The one on the left is a girl. She did a good job. Big old healthy babies. She's taking care of them pretty good. Sheep's one of those goats that about got cold a couple of years ago, but Maddie and my little cousin saved her from going to the stockyard. And she's a good goat. She don't like me petting her, but Maddie will cuddle with her and pet her. She don't like me because I give her shots all the time. She's one of those goats that's she'll end up staying here for the rest of her time. Well, now that you've seen those, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. It's probably getting kind of long. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy going to the stockyard with me today and also getting the update that we've been waiting to hear from the vet. I've had a lot of people still curious in the situation with the abortion, so we finally got some results. I'm glad to finally share them with you. I'm gonna go ahead and get these babies tagged, and then you get these mamas fed. They're pretty hungry, I think, or at least they're telling me they're hungry. But I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and we'll see y'all on the next one.